Week's main news. Appeal of jail youth activist Bakhtiar Hajiyev against prison sentence rejected. 6th Ministerial Conference of Community of Democracies. Journalist Enil Fethullayev speaks about his Europe visit. Neyman Penahlı's family intends to seek political asylum. Non-governmental organizations disappointed with donors. Azerbaijan Islam Party chairman's trial begins. Yesterday, Ganja City Appeals Court heard the appeal filed by jailed youth activist Bakhtiar Hajiyev. Judge Chingiz Mammadov presided over the hearing. The defendant's side filed motions requiring replacement of prison sentence with house arrest, release on bail, and an investigation into the case. The judge rejected the motions without giving any reason. Nonetheless, the defendant's side filed another motion requesting an investigation into the ill treatment against Hajiyev in the court of first instance. The motion was rejected as well. The public prosecutor then demanded the court to uphold the 2-year prison sentence issued for Hajiyev. The activist lawyers demanded the court to terminate the criminal case launched against the defendant and issue an acquittal for him. Today, this court is judging the Azerbaijani youth. The country that judges its own youth has no future, said Hajiyev in his speech. The hearing was continued today. In today's process, Judge Chingiz Mammadov announced the decision not to grant Hajiyev's appeal. Thus, the court upheld the 2 years of prison sentence issued for Hajiyev. Ganja City Court sentenced youth activist Bakhtiar Hajiyev to 2 years in jail on May 18, 2011, charging him with dodging military service. It's widely thought that Hajiyev was arrested for his activity on social networking sites and his support of the March 11 Great People's Day campaign.
Azərbaycan məhkəmələrindən konkret olaraq Bakhtiar Haciyev haqqında hər hansı bir obyektiv qərar gözləmirdi. Çünki Bakhtiar Haciyevin həbsi siyasi sifarişdir. Bu siyasi sifariş olundu, həm cinayət işi materiallarından görünür, həm Bakhtiar Haciyevə qarşı.
We did not expect any fair decision from the Azerbaijani courts, particularly in Hajiyev's case. Because Hajiyev's arrest is politically motivated, it's clearly seen both in case materials and the black smear campaign against Hajiyev on TV channels. However, it cannot make us refrain from taking steps in the framework of legal procedures. We believe that Hajiyev is innocent before the law and money. We claim that his evading military service is ungrounded. We will take the issue to the European Court of Human Rights.
Müdafiə tərəfi olaraq hesab edirik ki, Bakhtiar Haciyev həm qanun, həm də vətən qarşısında suçsuzdur, günahsızdır. Onun hərbi xidmətdən çağırışdan boyun qaçırmasına dair iddialar tamamilə əsassız bir iddiadır. Bununla bağlı bütün çəkişmələrimizi Avropa məhkəməsinə qədər davam etdirəcəyik.
The Community of Democracies held its 6th Ministerial Conference on 1st July 2011. The conference was accompanied with several forums, including the Civil Society Forum, the Women Enhancing Democracy Best Practices Forum, Road to Democracy, Role of Community of Democracies Forum. The conference adopted Vilnius Declaration, which stresses the need to strengthen the activities of the Community of Democracies and focuses on an initiative aimed at helping other countries that are now in the process of transition to democracy. Within the framework of the conference, the U.S. State Secretary Hillary Clinton and Lithuania Minister of Foreign Affairs Audronis Ažubalis met with civil society representatives. The Institute for Reproductive Freedom and Safety Chairman Emin Huseinov attended the Youth Forum on June 30 as well. He spoke about the use of new technologies by youth activists in Azerbaijan to deliver their messages to the society and other youths. The next Ministerial Committee of the Community of Democracies will be hosted by Ulaanbaatar, Mongolia. The Community of Democracies is a global intergovernmental coalition of democratic countries established with the goal of promoting democratic rules and strengthening democratic norms and institutions around the world. Community of Democracies was founded in 2000 during a ministerial conference in Warsaw. The conference was the idea and initiative of the then Polish Minister of Foreign Affairs Bronisław Geremek and the former U.S. Secretary of State Madeleine Albright. In 2000, in Warsaw, ministerial delegations from 106 countries from all around the world signed the final declaration toward the Community of Democracies, naming values which constitute democracy. Former political prisoner, journalist Inile Fethullayev held a press conference today at IRFS Press Center to speak about the conclusions of his meetings in the Council of Europe. Fethullayev says that he was invited to visit by the Council of Europe leadership. Fethullayev informed that he has invited the Parliamentary Assembly of Council of Europe's Special Rapporteur on Political Prisoners in Azerbaijan, Christoph Strasser, to visit Azerbaijan as his guest. According to Fethullayev, Strasser is expected to hold a conference on political prisoners during his visit to Baku. The rapporteur is expected to speak about the political prisoners in Azerbaijan in the Parliamentary Assembly Council of Europe autumn session. Fethullayev has also offered Council of Europe General Secretary to visit Azerbaijan and hold a dialogue with Baku officials. He believes that it could contribute to the protection of the basic rights of the citizens. According to Fethullayev, the Council of Europe Ministerial Cabinet is going to pass a third decision on payment of compensation to Fethullayev by Azerbaijan. He noted that his appeal to the European Court of Human Rights regarding the narcotics charge brought against him in prison is in communication phase. Fethullayev spoke at European School of Politics about the Azerbaijan journalists' access to information. He described the limited access of journalists to the information, saying the information itself is a state secret in Azerbaijan. He noted that the Azerbaijan president has not given an interview to local journalists during his 8 years of power. Speaking about his future activities, Fethullayev said that he is going to publish a joint newspaper together with international organizations. Jailed Azerbaijan National Centrist Party head Nemat Panahl's lawyers and relatives held a press conference at the Institute for Reporters' Freedom and Safety. The prisoner's brother, Samat Panahl, noted that Nemat was placed in the punishment cell of Baku Investigative Prison on July 2nd. The regime is willing to physically annihilate him, he said. Samat Panahl believes that the arrest is politically motivated. He said that the archives of his brother confiscated during the search at his house has not been returned. I have appealed to the president in Himalaya requesting release of my brother, but after this, Nemat was put into a punishment cell, and the employees of Pleasure Security Insurance Company visited Nemat's house, saying that his property will be confiscated because of his death, he said. It shows that the campaign against Panahl is led by the president Ilham Aliyev, Samat Panahl added. According to him, their family is going to appeal to all international organizations and seek an asylum from Turkish authorities. Lawyer Samir Isayev said that they have appealed against the 6-year imprisonment sentence issued by Nasimi District Court. The lawyer is not aware of the reason why Panahl was transferred into punishment cell.
On July the 8th, a group of NGOs held a roundtable at International Press Center to discuss the relations with international donor organizations. Razi Nurullah, director of NGOs, who was refused their registration by the Justice Ministry, spoke about financial problems of NGOs. According to Nurullah, rather than criticizing the donors, the event aimed at building a sound cooperation between the NGOs and its donors. Local NGO representatives criticized international donor organizations operating in Azerbaijan for holding non-transparent competitions, announcing the same organizations as winners, and lack of respect in the relations with local organizations. Nonetheless, the organizers said that the main goal is not to chastise them, but to build sound relations between the NGOs and donor organizations. The speakers blamed OSCE, European Commission, and embassies for not ensuring transparency in implementation for grant projects. NGO representatives called for either to stop their operation or to set out guidelines to prevent discrimination in grant competitions. Besides, local NGO representatives criticized the Council of State support to NGOs for bureaucracy and insufficient amount of grants.
Baku Court of Grave Crimes held a preliminary hearing on the criminal case against the Azerbaijan Islamic Party head Masum Samadov, his brother-in-law Firdowsi Mamarizayev, deputy party head Vagif Abdullayev, Islamic Party Astro Regional Branch head Ruful Akhundzada, Dayanat Samadov, Faramis Abbasov, and Zulfikar Mikhailov. Judge Eldar Ismailov presided over the hearings. Samadov's lawyer Anar Gasimov filed a motion requesting to allow the defendants to sit near their lawyers rather than behind bars in the hearing. The judge refused to grant the motion as well. When the lawyer claimed a violation of Samadov's right for defense, his ungrounded arrest, and asked to terminate the criminal case. According to the lawyers, there is no evidence in the criminal case launched against Samadov and that his arrest is linked to his political activities. The accused are charged under several articles of criminal code, including preparation of a crime on preliminary agreement by the organized group, arms possession, and seizure of power.